MotoFab 1.5-inch front leveling kit is perfect for the 2019 and newer Silverado or Sierra 1500 owner who wants the easiest and most cost-effective way to give their truck's front end a little bit more height. Featuring a simple installation and really solid construction, this kit does everything you need for one of the best prices in the segment. As always, we start with the thing that you all want to know, which is the height and how much tire you can fit underneath your truck with this installed. Now this kit will give you 1.5 inches of additional height to the front end only. Since this is a leveling kit, the rear stays the same height as it does stock. The extra height though means that you can fit some 33-inch tires on your truck without rubbing or the need for other modifications. Now this one is going to be a bit different than your standard block lift kit. The main components are these two spacers that fit at the bottom of your front struts. So these effectively serve as shock extensions, making the shocks physically longer, which gives you that additional 1.5 inches of height in the front end. Now that's going to give you better ground clearance overall, and it also levels out the stance of your truck, hence the name. So this is going to sit nice and even front to back and won't be lower in the front like it is in stock form. Now going with this type of leveling kit also means that the installation is going to be a bit simpler, as the strut unit does not need to be removed from the truck in order to get this installed. More on that though later. Now since this kit is going to keep your factory shocks and springs, ride quality is also maintained. So really you get the best of all worlds. You get more height, a better stance, an easy installation process, and really solid OEM type ride quality. Spacers are a simple thing, but it's important that they're done right. These are constructed from billet aluminum and they're finished off with this nice textured black powder coat. So they're all one piece, they're pretty lightweight, and there's no welds to break like you sometimes find on fabricated spacers. Plus they come with the new longer bolts and the stronger hardware here to ensure that you can get everything installed and torqued down properly. The price though might be the best part, because this kit's only going to run you about 50 bucks, which is truly an excellent price for what you're getting. If you want the extra height and you don't want to pay a lot of money, this is going to give you exactly that with solid build quality to boot. So you can bolt this onto your truck and enjoy that extra ride height, and you're not going to have to worry about it. The good news continues when we talk about installation. As I've alluded to earlier, this one is a pretty straightforward job. We're still going to give this a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter because you are going to have to disassemble some suspension components, and you should expect the job to take you around 2 hours to complete. But like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a bit easier to tackle than traditional spacers since you don't need to completely remove the strut from the truck. Though there is still a bit of other disassembly required in order to get access and the space that you need, it is a job that you can easily tackle at home. Just remember that you will need to get an alignment after you've got this all buttoned up, since you are messing around with suspension geometry. But for now though, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the install process step by step.
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact, 18 and 15 millimeter socket, 15 millimeter wrench, 18 millimeter wrench, pry bar, hammer, and also not shown be a lift and floor jack. All right, today we're going to be installing a leveling kit on our Sierra, so let's get started. So we're going to start here at the bottom, disconnecting everything. We're going to start by disconnecting our sway bar link from our lower control arm and then the bottom of our strut. So we're starting here with our sway bar link. We're going to grab our impact and 18 millimeter socket and take that nut off. So on the bottom of our strut here, we're going to take off our two 15 millimeter bolts. Now yours would normally have the nut clips on the top of the strut that hold it down. Ours are just replacement nut and bolts. Still have to use a wrench just to hold it. But we're gonna grab our impact 15 millimeter socket, take these off. And then the other one. This will drop down on you, so just be a little careful. Next, we're gonna disconnect our knuckle from our upper control arm, grab my 18 millimeter ratcheting wrench and loosen this nut. Now we're gonna spin that off till it's right about the end. Grab our hammer and hit our knuckle right here. All right, now you see that is released. So we'll get a pry bar in our spring here, push that down so we can get our nut all the way off. And slowly let that up. So we can let our knuckle just rest on the side. So now we're gonna install our new spacer. Now we have our spacer here. It's gonna go in the truck like so. It's gonna be sandwiched in between the bottom of the strut and the lower control arm. Now we have our supply bolts with flat washers. They're gonna go down through the strut, through spacer, and through the lower control arm. Now this is a little awkward to get everything lined up. I do have it lowered down with the floor jack under, just to help get everything in the right angle. So let's get this in here. So here we have our spacer. We'll get that in there. Now this is definitely gonna be a little bit challenging to get everything lined up, but just take your time. Get it started in our spacer. Use a pry bar to help get everything moved around. So just take your time, get that lined up, and we'll get our other bolt with our flat washer in place. So I'm just gonna take a flat washer and our locking nut, thread that on the bottom of our bolts. I know you can't see it right now, but we're just gonna get this held in place and then bring this back up more in the air. So now we're gonna get our knuckle back into our upper control arm, get that lined up. If you need to, grab a pry bar, just to help get that extra leverage. Get this lined up. We're gonna take our nut that we took off and thread that on. Then we're gonna grab our 18mm ratchet wrench, tighten that down, while still using our pry bar to hold tension on that to keep it from spinning. So back underneath, we're gonna tighten everything down. We're gonna thread our nut on for our sway bar link, grab our impact 18mm socket, tighten that down. Now we're gonna switch to our 15mm socket and a 15mm wrench, and then tighten our two bottom bolts down. Now you can go ahead and repeat those same steps for the other side of the truck, and you'll be all set to go. And that wraps up our install of our MotoFab 1.5-inch front leveling kit for our 2019 and newer Silverado and Sierra 1500. And remember, for everything Sierra, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.